Are you listening? This ain't no quiet thing. We're screaming out our lungs. Hey, are you listening? Hey, are you there? Hey, are you listening? Or do you just not care?
Well, hey, are you listening? This is a podcast exploring the past, present, and future of Christian music. My name is Joel. I'm here with my good friend Brandon, and we connected over a mutual love of House of Heroes, but also have pretty different tastes when it comes to things. And so we get to experience new stuff from each other while inviting some friends along for the ride. Brandon, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good. Did you pick up on the band that you mentioned just now?
House of Heroes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you usually say Starflyer 59. That's why.
Well, I've decided, like, I got tired of just saying a mutual love of some particular artist. So I decided to start thinking through what are artists that we both like that I can toss in there.
Now I feel bad. I feel like I was poking fun at you, and now it's like, Brandon, I was going to make this change, but now I feel like it's like you showed up and I was like, who's the guy in the green shoes? And you're like, I just wanted to do something different.
I do have blue shoes on today. Did you notice?
I noticed. I thought at first that they were branded with oh man, what's the organization? It's like a Christian organization. It's like here or like send relief.
Sin Relief.
And I think their logo is like that. It's like these arrows.
Yeah.
So at first when I saw those, I was like, did they send those shoes too, Joel?
I bought these at Walmart. I've got a lot of compliments on them today, so
They are really nice.
they're blue.
I'll need to talk to your shoe guy.
Okay.
Need to go buy some shoes.
That would be me. Awesome. Well, Brandon, today we talk about how this is a podcast about the past, present, and future of Christian music. And today we're talking about the present of Christian music, the right now, because we're covering an album that literally just came out. And we're going to be looking at the album Misfortunately by Gracie. And that's one that we've I feel like talked about a pretty decent amount, like leading up to this. So I'm excited to get into all of those things. But before we do that, let's talk about what's in the news.
What's in the news? What's in the news?
So this week, actually right now, Audio Feed Music Festival is happening as of the recording of this record. And I keep seeing like posts from there or people posting things or video clips of bands playing, and I'm like, why am I not at Audio Feed? Brandon, we should have gone.
We should have been there.
Like, I feel like we could have escaped the South Carolina heat and gone to what basically used to be Cornerstone, but now is reborn as Audio Feed. There's some great bands playing, great artists playing there. Andy Squires is there. John Van Dusen. Bleach is playing. Who else is there?
Grace Graber.
Grace Graber's there. Sky Peterson is there. There's some good stuff happening.
Jason Dunn was there.
Jason Dunn was there. Yeah, I saw him post a picture with the Bleach guys, which is cool. So, yeah, I kind of feel like, man, that would have been fun. Maybe we should have done that. I keep saying every year, this is going to be the year that I go to Audio Feed. And then it doesn't ever happen.
I feel like every year I want to go to like a festival, but then the years that I'm like free to go is like this year we were really excited to go to one and then they canceled it. And all the other ones are like, all right, come visit Japan for this this festival. And it's like, oh, that's a long drive.
Maybe we can become the official podcast of Audio Feed, and they'll, fly us out there next year.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that we could just do our own festival here.
No, that feels like a lot of work.
We just take a little $500 budget
and money.
Start calling out.
Yeah. I mean, we know some people, but, I don't know. So, anyways, it just kind of made me think about that. So I'm pumped that Audio Feed is happening, and one of these days it's going to happen. I'm going to go. and it's going to be amazing. So, but until then, let's talk about what we've been listening to lately.
Mm-hmm.
I can go first if you want.
Go right ahead.
Mine is the record that we're talking about today, Misfortunately by Gracie. I feel like I've listened to a bunch since it came out. It helps that this is like a record that I could say a lot of the stuff later, but this is a record that both of my daughters really like Gracie. And so this is something I can always turn on and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And so, so I think that does a lot of favors. But also the same day that this album came out, the new Switchfoot record, Forever Now, came out. And I've listened to that one a couple of times so far. And the buzz on that one's really good. People are really digging it. Apparently pretty rock and roll. And the first track reminds me a little bit of like a 21 Pilots songs. I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, I'm digging that. Have you listened to that one much yet?
Yeah, that was actually the one I was going to mention.
Nice.
Having listened to, I've really enjoyed it, and I think this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think that I've enjoyed just as its entirety Switchfoot stuff, like the second half of their career.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff I listened to back in the day that I would go, okay, I like half this album, but the other half I don't really like gel with. But I think that like this album does a really good job of just being good from start to finish.
Yeah.
And so now that I've upset fans, I can.
You know, it's interesting you say that because with the release of this album, I'm in a Switchfoot fan group. And so everybody's been posting their like rankings of the Switchfoot albums. And I feel like on everybody's post, the albums that I love the most, which are like the first like 3 records, are at the bottom. And I'm like, guys, come on. And then people will be like, I'm pretty sure it's common agreement that Nothing Is Sound is like the best Switchfoot album. And I'm like, is it really? I just there's a lot of opinions on Switchfoot records out there.
I think that people get so caught up in that stuff. And like, I remember one time Aaron Wise of Me Without You was asked like what his favorite one was or to rank them. And he like gave a list and they were like, oh, so why do you not like that album? Like the one you put on 4th. And he's like, I didn't say I didn't like it. Like you asked me to rank them. He was like, I'm a fan of like, you know, we did stuff on that album that we never did on other albums and all. And I think about that sometimes that, you know, like, cause like even the Switchfoot comment, it's like, I say that as someone that tried listening, you know, 20 years ago to them. And I think that it could be something that now I go back and, you know, it's like the John Foreman one we did. 20 years ago, I would have thought this is Switchfoot without the cool stuff. And now I'm like, man, this is like, I really love lyrics. So really it's, this is all the lyrics without the good, you know, the electric guitar or whatever. And I think Switchfoot's just also a band that the older I get, like I've just enjoyed them more because like their live show is just as good now as I think I first saw them maybe 2010, I think, like for the first time live. And I mean, every time I've seen them, like there's never been here's a night off for them. It's, hey, these people are here to see us. They paid good money and we're going to give them a show.
I probably saw them first in like 98 or 99. So
just a few years.
Yeah. Totally. So I think I can objectively like enjoy pretty much any Switchfoot record. But I do love those early ones. So the world can disagree with me on it. The hard part is they weren't just ranking them, but they were grading all of them. And it was the grades that really got to me, Brandon.
Would it upset you if you saw John Foreman like their post and say, you guys nailed it?
Probably. Probably.
I feel like that'd be a really weird post for him to make. I'm like, yeah, you guys are right. I also don't like those ones.
I mean, he hasn't made music like that in a long time, so he probably doesn't that much. But That's okay.
We need to have John on, and he can discuss it with us.
Yeah, we'll do that one day for sure. I would like to talk to him about the musical trajectory of Switchfoot. So, all right, Brandon, we are going to play a game.
Let's play. Let's play. It's time to play a game. Let's play. Let's play. It's time to play a game.
All right, so I'm going to do something that I don't like doing to you by yourself, but we're going to play a game of CCM 20 questions. So, apologies. I will say that because you are alone by yourself, we're going to play CCM 25 questions.
Oh, okay,
So I'm
good.
going to give you a few extra ones to get in there and see if you can come up with what this is. So you know the rules. We don't have to talk about it. You got 25 questions, yes or no questions. To get, you only get one guess for the specific album, but you can guess the artist along the way. So let's do it.
How impressive would it be if I just immediately just guessed and I was like, Portable Sounds Toby Mac, and you were just like, what?
Is that your guess?
No. Is it was his album released post 2000?
Yes.
All right. Was this album released on Goatee Records?
No.
Was it released on Tooth and Nail?
No.
Is it a group?
Yes.
Have we covered this band? Like, have we reviewed one of these bands' albums before?
No.
that takes away all the guesses I had.
Takes a lot of people off the table.
It does. Have I expressed that I'm an active listener to this band?
I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure that you know this band.
Is it a band? I don't know if I can reword that into, is it a band you have listened to and share that you enjoy? Like, is it known that you like this band?
There was a time in my life when I enjoyed this band. I think that's like 6. We'll say 6.
Yeah. Does this band still tour?
Yes.
Is this band is it Bleach?
No.
Oh.
I should give a caveat to something that I
Okay.
said earlier. You asked me if this band you asked me if this album was on Tooth and Nail, or
Yeah, was this album released on Tooth
Okay.
and Nail?
so just to give you a hint, this album was not released on Tooth and Nail. However, they do have one release on Tooth and Nail Records.
Oh, okay. Oh, that narrows it down. Was it released before 2010?
Yes.
Is it 4 guys?
Yes, that's 10.
Is it Emery?
No. They have several albums on Tooth and Nail.
Yeah. As I said that, I was like, I don't even know if they have how many people in the band. Was there Tooth and Nail released before they released this album?
Yes.
Okay. Has this band been was this band active before the 2000s?
Yes.
Have you seen this band live in person?
Yes. That's 14.
Does it start with a consonant?
Yes.
Is it MXPX?
No,
I feel like they released a lot of stuff on Tooth and Nail.
they did. That's 15.
Oh man, this is not going in a good way.
You should think. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think about how to give you hints. Think about things we've. Well, no. I don't know.
Is there a woman in this band?
You already asked me if this band was made up of 4 guys. I said yes.
Maybe you're tricking me. You're like, well, there's 4 guys, but also 6 women in
I'm
there.
not going to count that one. It's 4 guys.
Is this band now independent?
Hang on. I'm pretty sure that now they are independent.
Mm-hmm.
However, at the time of this release, they were not.
Are they known as a Christian band?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Here's a question. Am I allowed to scroll down on Wikipedia former Tooth and Nail bands?
The Tooth and Nail thing. So, like I said, they only put one thing out on Tooth and Nail, and it wasn't even a full length. So
Is the band Pedro the Lion?
no,
Oh.
but you're right about that. They only put
I was just trying to
Not a
flex
full
my
length.
knowledge on here.
very different band from Pedro the Lion.
It's not Danielson, is it?
They had multiple Tooth and Nail releases.
Oh, and they've got way more than 4 guys in it. How many more questions do I have?
I don't really
I
know.
feel like I'm up to like 21 right now.
Let's say you've got like 8 left, something like that.
I'm shooting in the dark right now, so I'm gonna say something that's probably not what you were hinting at. Audio Adrenaline.
No.
For the viewers, Joel did his arms up and said "big," and so I thought "big
Trying
house."
to give you clues. That's not what I was going for.
Skillet. Is the band Skillet?
No, I think
Oh.
you should stop guessing specific artists. I don't think that's getting you anywhere. You should ask questions.
Would you like to have this band on as a guest?
Yeah.
Have you expressed wanting to review some of their stuff in the past?
No.
Is this band Mute Math?
Stop asking me specific bands.
I feel like I'm ready to throw in the towel because I don't even have the band yet.
You could ask. Yeah.
What is the name of the band?
It's yes or no questions.
Let's see. I'm gonna Google 4 guys in a Christian band, and I'm just gonna guess whatever comes up. That's my final guess.
It's not your final guess. You still have a few questions. That might give you some hints, though.
Yeah. I should have used Google the
Even
whole
though
time.
I don't know that really should technically be allowed.
Oh, is the band The Chariot?
Stop asking me specific bands.
Oh man, that's the only thing that's coming up on Google.
Just
like
the Chariot.
I said, 4 guys in a band a one release on Tooth and Nail, and everything is just the Chariot.
That's so funny.
Has this band toured in Charleston?
I have no idea.
Um,
I'm not gonna count that one.
was this album popular in the? No, not. Did this band start in the 90s?
Yes. You should go back to that other question.
I don't
that
even
you
know
were
what I was
starting to
say.
ask me.
Were they popular in the 90s?
This band was very popular.
Was Aaron Gillespie in this band?
No.
I feel like I need to throw the towel in, Joel.
You've got like 3 questions left.
All of them are going to be bands.
Think bigger.
Let's see. Were they at any point on Goatee Records?
I kind of already answered that earlier.
Oh, I guess if this album was released on
they weren't.
Goatee.
No, they were not.
Yeah, I feel like I got to throw in the towel on this one,
I
Joel.
don't want you to get there so bad, but
I'm just curious now, like when you say it, is it going to be another Third Day thing where you mention a band and I'm like, actually, I'm a huge fan of that band.
yeah, okay. So you're giving up.
How about you give me the band and let me see if I even know any of their albums to guess.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I wish that you had asked me like questions like with the popularity thing, like did they have just mainstream popularity or just Christian industry popularity? And if I told you they had mainstream popularity, would that change things?
No.
They got played on MTV all the time.
Nope.
Okay. All right. The band is POD.
Oh, I've never listened to any EP.
Really?
And yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. That's so interesting. Okay.
I know one of their songs is Youth of a Nation, and they also wrote a entrance music to a professional wrestler. So that's my extent
That's
of
where it ends.
POD.
All right.
So if it makes you feel better, Joel, no amount of questions would have
gotten you there. Okay. Well, this is the 4th studio album by POD. It was released on Atlantic Records, ironically, on September 11th, 2001.
Oh, wow.
And the album is Satellite. It was a huge album.
Looking at, I feel like that's the album cover I've seen of it.
This is the one with Youth of a Nation on it.
Yeah.
And Alive, Boom. Lots of big songs on this record.
I just remember Youth of a Nation from, I think it was like a commercial maybe when they used to have like the gospel music channel. Because it would just have like the We Are the Youth of a Nation.
Yeah.
And like that's the only, from this band, I know 10 seconds of their work they've done.
And Youth of a Nation isn't even like the POD sound. I mean, it is, but like it's a chill song. And yeah, this is their biggest album. Over 7 million copies sold worldwide.
Man, if only I would have asked if they were on Atlantic Records.
All right, well, that's okay, Brandon. We didn't get there, but this is our first not getting there. So that's kind of a bummer.
I don't know. Well, the Third Day one we didn't get there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So this is the second one.
Think about it. One day that'll be a trivia question someone asks is what does POD and Third Day have in common?
It's kind of unfair, honestly, for you to have to get through this stuff by yourself. But so I apologize. For
Honestly, it's just eye opening to see like the music that like you're into that other people aren't into. Because I think when you say that, there's so many people out there that would go, how in the world? Like it's almost like a road trip where it's like if I just said, yeah, I just drove straight to California. And they're like, you didn't stop in Texas? And it's like, no, it didn't pass through there. And it's like, how in the world did you get to California without, or like, how did you not get on the interstate, like going to California? And I think like, like recently when we covered Neon Horse, it was the same way. Like was like, how have you never listened to this band? But I mean, once again, it's like POD. Oh. You mean the wrestling song?
When you compare monthly listeners on those two artists, I'm sure it'd be very interesting.
But yeah, I think that's so fascinating. But I mean, once again, like I was telling someone the other day that the thing that sparked our like initial kind of talk about music was Don Quixote's Horse.
Yeah.
And me posting and you being like, oh, dude, I love that band. And me thinking, man, they've got, I think at the time they had like 100 monthly listeners. And I'm like,
how did I find
people.
one of those other people?
Yeah. And so to me, like, it's one thing for us to say, oh, we both love DC Talk or something. But whenever you find those smaller bands like a POD, I'm going to pull up their monthly listeners right now just to see.
I'm sure it's not anywhere close to what it would have been, 10 years ago.
I'd guess 5 million.
If
I had to guess.
I don't think it's that much.
I think just songs get put on playlist and they get played over and over. Oh, 4.2 million.
Okay. And then do Neon Horse.
Which one? Because if you look up Neon Horse, there's two different.
Take your pick.
Okay.
Add them together.
Yeah, let's see. On one of them, we're looking at 1,100.
Oh.
Which is
That's pretty good.
Decent for Neon
pretty
Horse.
good.
And the other one is 91.
There you go.
So, I mean, let's run 2,000, 4.2 million.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's get into what we're going to talk about today, and that is the album Misfortunately by Gracie. Just some things about this. So this album was released on June 26, 2026. It's the debut full-length album from Gracie, which is a little misleading because she has released other music under the name Gracie Binion on BEC Records, which is, a sub-label of Tooth and Nail, but more in the Christian market. And so that music's almost a little more worship music. But this one is her first full-length LP for Tooth and Nail, and it's more, a little more rock and roll. It was produced by Nashville-based producer Austin Davis, with whom Gracie spent much of 2025 writing and recording in his studios, drawing on a shared love of early 2000s alternative rock, pop punk, and emo. The pair crafted a record that balances polished modern production with raw emotional honesty. And so, here we go.
That really sums up this album of just very polished, but also very raw, like emotion. I'm like, that's what you have on here.
Yeah, it's very true. That's very true. So just opening thoughts on this. So our introduction to this, like, I feel like for me, I probably didn't start paying attention to this record until Cameron from Tooth and Nail News mentioned it, that he was digging, like, kind of what was coming out. I don't even know if there were any singles out at that point. Maybe there were, but I feel like Cameron mentioned it, and then I started paying attention to it and listening to the songs and digging what was coming out. And then I feel like I started talking about it to you and even to Jordan.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think this is something you guys would enjoy. So it'd be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. But this one's new for me. The funny thing is, Brandon, the other day I was in the car, and my youngest and I were listening to this record, and she was like, "Has she put out any other music?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, she has under like a different name." And she said, "Play me one of those songs." And so I went and played like her number one like song or whatever, that's off of her BEC release. And my youngest Olivia just started singing along to it, and she like knew that song already. And I'm like, I don't even know this. I think it's called My Father's House or something. But she like knew it, and she's like, yeah, that's on like the worship playlist we listen to. And I don't know, but yeah, she totally knew that song already. And I'm like, okay,
That's really cool.
So, But yeah, I've had a really good time getting to know this record. So what about you?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you introduced me to her music. I remember you just saying, "Man, I've been listening a lot to her," and I forget what single it came out, but you shared it, and it was, man, that's really cool. Like, yeah, it was just really cool, and I've kind of followed along with like the singles that had like dropped, but not like super close. So like even with this album, it was not like oh man, I got to immediately listen to this. I think it was even after you had shared on Facebook that hey, this came out too. Because we joked earlier that the same day it was, you had the heavyweights of Gracie, Switchfoot, John Rubin. But no, like I found myself gravitating towards like Switchfoot's and being like, okay, well, let me sit through and listen to this one. Because I think with Switchfoot and Gracie, they were both ones that I wanted to sit down and like have time to digest,
Right.
not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
put it on the background. And so this was my first listen through of the entire album was preparing for this this review.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk about it. So let's dig into the tracks. Track number 1 is 20 somethings. And the only thing that I will say about this starting out is that I felt like you were going to struggle with this as an opening track.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually really loved it.
Okay, good.
I liked it. I saw it as like a build.
Okay. Yeah.
With like the acoustic guitar, and then you have like the drums and the backing vocals. I mean, like I loved it, but I would say just as a rule of thumb, like I even at a concert to me it works having
Yeah.
this like build up of stuff. I think it depends on the artist, but I mean, even like a Me Without You, they've had albums that start off with this kind of slow,
Yeah.
and I think you're settling for like a story. And it goes back to I think this is an album that you want to listen to like afterwards. You can pull this or that, but at the beginning you want to just enjoy it for what it's worth. And yeah, like I really enjoyed the build, and I was really excited to listen to the rest of the album.
Yeah, I really liked this one as an opener. It's like it's an interesting song. I did feel like it's kind of a strange opener, but I appreciated like the creative choice of it because I feel like openers are usually like really low key and down or like pretty up, and this one felt like somewhere in the middle. And so in that way, like it felt kind of strange to me. But some notes like it starts off, especially listening to it with headphones, it starts off with the drums, and I'm like, the drums sound really good. Like I like the tone of the drums and the way that they were recorded in my headphones. I do like this song just made me think about the fact that I really like the production of this record and the fact that it's like really polished, but also has this like rawness to it that they gain by doing some pretty unique things. This is like there's a lot going on in this whole album, like layers and layers and layers of stuff, and I love records like that. And this like towards the end of this song, there's like this vastness of like music and noise that's like happening in the background to make it feel really big.
Yeah.
And I love songs like that. It made it feel like live to me, like I'm in the room, like I'm at the concert and this is happening. And so while the production's like really good, one thing that stood out to me about the whole record is that like I felt like I was at the show. Like a really well produced and polished concert.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there I have a lot of notes that I wrote down for this one, but one of the things that I appreciate about this record is every verse sounds different than the verse before.
Yeah.
That there's musical change ups and melody change ups constantly. Like it never sounds like they're rehashing or repeating anything. And I really like that. And I think just because she's a good singer, she does a lot of like vocal improvisation.
Yeah.
And so like at the end of the song, she's just kind of singing some la la la's and going crazy. And I love it. So
Yeah, I think that's you touch on something that this whole album, it deals a lot with just, I feel like primarily heartbreak, like
Yeah.
the dark side of like relationships. And it's sometimes it's like, how many times can you tell me like the same story? And I think she does a good job of, you don't sit there and say, yep, it's just 13 songs about relationships. Like, it feels like you're telling a story.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, there's songs on here that deals with the exact same thing of just, hey, there's this really you know, stupid guy, but it's like told from different perspectives. It's not
Different
just, hey,
angles,
let me
yeah.
tell you again about this ex-boyfriend or my
Yeah.
friend's, you know, like boyfriend or whatever. So
yeah, this is such like an angsty album in that way. There's a lot of, I feel like, teenage angst on this. But I also know for her, just because I've heard her talk about it, that this is her unpacking a relationship that caused like a lot of harm
yeah.
for her. And so it's a way that she's like processing those feelings and those emotions in I think a healthy way.
Yeah. I
So-
think like this is like, really, this wasn't a difficult album to go track by track, because I feel like everything kind of pours together with it. Like this, if this review would have been so much easier if like you would have said, all right, Brandon, just tell me like, what are your 3 takeaways from this? Because I think that you have the songs that blend together and like kind of like help each other tell this like story.
Yeah.
Because, you know, yeah, like you said, I feel like it's very healthy. Like, this is something that if I knew someone that was going through like a bad like breakup or something, or was in a bad relationship, this is an album that I would say, hey, you should listen to this. I think it's going to help you.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't feel like, oh, we'll skip this one track because it's kind of silly or whatever. I would think, no, I think this is something that you need to hear, and it's going to help you like process what you're going through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love that.
next we move to Sucker. What'd you think about that track?
I love instantly like the vibe change. Like you're the one that talks about like listening to albums like a concert.
Yeah.
But like I felt that here from like just the sort of almost like dance or waltziness of like track 1 into like that opening acoustic guitar, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like it's like, all right, you can tell we're moving into something now. It's like the tone is shifting, things are changing. And yeah, man, I think this is such a good song. I love there's so many things. Like, I love that the first chorus is like a drop down to palm muted guitar and just her vocals. I think that's like super effective. And then it like picks up significantly, and builds in a really cool way. I love the lyrics on this song. They're like super it's a breakup story via like watching a vampire movie. Like that's the context of it. And so I just think the lyrics are hilarious. Like when she says something like, but you just can't seem to tan, or talks about how he like pretty teeth and like all kinds of stuff. Like I just think the lyrics are really fun. The second pre-chorus, when the song is about to really launch out, the drums are going nuts. Like they're just so fast and crazy, and I love that. And I love the lyric too. Sorry, I'm back to lyrics. I'm sure he's killed 30 people, but he loves my favorite band. Like, it's a great lyric.
Yeah.
This song would be so fun to play. Yeah, it must be super fun to be in her band. So I think the song's super creative. It like goes all over the place, and it's a blast, and I love it.
Yeah, I feel like the lyrics are so fun on this album. One that stood out is at the very top of that, where she goes, I heard good guys stick around, but all the others have such pretty teeth. Yeah. And I think it was just something about, like, instead, you could have said smile, but just the fact of, like, it just felt like it felt unpolished because
Yeah.
it's just saying, like, yeah, like it's something you would hear in a conversation. Like, you wouldn't hear someone in a speech or something
Right.
about, like, their teeth was so pretty or
It's
whatever.
also a lean into the vampire thing, though.
Yeah. And I think it's just such a like I said, it's like you're taking the same message of how, like, hey, like, this guy is just he's not good for me, he's not good for you, but you're telling it in all these different ways. And I think this is kind of like maybe a little more of like the more fun, because it's kind of the sarcasm, like, of, like you said, oh, he's killed these people, but he likes my favorite band and all. So I think it's a great way starting off, where, like, this is kind of what I expected the whole album to sound like.
Yeah.
So the first track is like, oh wow, I expected this to be okay. I hope they can keep up the same sound for 13 songs. And after that one, I'm like, man, I don't know what's coming next with it.
Yeah,
So,
there's the fact that there's a lot of variation on this record
Yeah.
is really interesting. But yeah, this is such a fun song. The energy's great. I love it. So, all right, track 3 is Not Your Mother. Mm-hmm. Brandon, what do you think about that one?
I really like the talking beforehand. I love whenever people do that on there. I can't explain what's like going on in the background. It's like maybe like a piano or something. I don't know if you get what I'm saying with it. But there's like some type of, like, I don't know if it's a piano sound, but it's going on in the background, and I liked it. Just I like when you listen to a song and then afterwards you get to go through and just focus on different little stuff going on.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's so much layers to it that I think it makes it fun, that I'm looking forward to the next time I go through it and picking up on stuff that, you mentioned on here, that I'm like, I'd even noticed that she was doing that. So
Yeah, this one, again, is different from track 1 and different from track 2 vibe-wise. Like, this feels like this reminds me of like a 90s alternative, like almost like a Weezer. Like, they would do the whole talking thing and then go into this kind of quirky guitar thing, and it just feels like that's what's like happening here. One of the things that I love about this one is they do this effect on her vocal on certain lines, like when she'll say, "I'm not your mother," where they'll double her vocal, but then they'll take like one of them and like really crank the gain up. I'm guessing this. I don't know. I'm guessing that's how they do it. Crank the gain up to where it peaks, and it almost turns into where it sounds like a scream in the background. And then they'll take that and bring the volume down and put it behind her vocal. And so it's like there's like a peaked out, like almost scream happening behind her, just singing the lyric, "I'm not your mother." It's a really cool vocal effect that I think works really well on this song.
yeah, I was about to talk about the gain and all that stuff too, but I wanted to let you have your moment to shine.
I like I like the verse change ups, how again, like every verse feels different. And I think that's something that they just do really well in this record. And so, this is a good one. It feels very 90s to me. So,
Our next one is You Can't Keep a Secret. Joel, can you keep a secret?
So this one was not a single. So this one was new to me on the release of this record. At least I think so. Again, completely different vibe from everything that we felt before. And this is one of those that feels like almost like a Olivia Rodrigo or a Taylor Swift song, mixed with some like 80s pop. It's super catchy. A really, really catchy song. I like the vibe of it a lot, even though it's really different from everything on the record so far. So, yeah, I liked it a ton.
Yeah, I put in like slightly lighter touch. Like, it's not like a light song, but I think it brings it down enough that like everything else has been so high. I I think this album has done a really good job of every song having its own identity so far. In that each song is just its own thing. Like it's not a building off of this one or okay, well I like 20 somethings as a better take than Not Your Mother or whatever. Yeah, I think it's been cool that each song kind of gets to be its own thing. There's nothing on here that's like a filler or
Yeah.
anything like that. So
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, track 5 is Gunpowder. Brandon, what'd you think about that one?
I just wrote down that the "Don't call me back when your dog dies." That lyric just felt so real, but it's like the things on this is real, like it's real life relationships. Like it's stuff that it sounds cheesy and all, but like I've known people that will be in these horrible relationships, and it's something like that happens, and it's like, well, I need to go be with them to like help them or whatever, and it's like it goes back to it just feels real. Like this doesn't feel like and I mean I could be wrong with this, but it's some artists have a team of 10 people helping them write a song, and it's, oh, this sounds more clever or whatever.
Yeah.
But this stuff is it's just felt like, and I know that's not the case, but it feels like the music just started and Gracie just walked up to the microphone and just started like talking.
Yeah.
We talk about the journal worship. I feel like this feels like you're just singing from a journal. Like it just feels real because of those little moments right there.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's cool. I like the like kind of quirky guitar at the beginning. The chorus is such an interesting like change up to where the song was. It reminds me, and it's pretty heavy. It reminds me of like there was an artist in the '90s, Christian artist named Miss Angie, who did some really creative and innovative stuff that nobody else was doing. I really love both of her albums that she put out, and this reminds me of that. Like, just I think creativity wise, and maybe even some vibe stuff too. But the second chorus on this is so big. Again, it just made it feel like you said, like kind of her stepping up to the microphone. Like I feel like I'm in the room when she's like singing this, and there's this moment when everything cuts out and it's just her voice. And I think we just need to acknowledge that she's such a good singer, such a great voice, and I think like above what you typically get on a record like this on Tooth and Nail. So, yeah, I like this one.
I agree with that. Next up we have Misfortunately. Joel, what do you think about this track?
Yeah, this one's good. Obviously, this is the title track of the record. I feel like it feels a little similar to Gunpowder for me. So having them right next to each other, I feel like was kind of an interesting choice. But I think the song works. The chorus is really interesting, and there's a great build at the end of it that I think is cool. And I just wrote down the comment, like, this album is meant to be played live. And so I did feel that on this one. So
I think this, like, so far, this has been my favorite track on the whole album. I think it's just painting a picture. Like the lyrics do such a job because it's all of these just little things you see. Like it's like you've slept all day, but your dog needs to walk, but you can't get out of bed.
yeah,
And it's like, even just little stuff like, in the city, you walk late at night with a lit cigarette and your shorts pulled up high.
Yeah.
Like it paints a picture. And I remember for the longest time it feeling like you couldn't say stuff like cigarette, like in a song or something. And it's like, she's not saying like, I was stressed, but then I smoked this and man, I feel better now. Go buy some. Like, it's just like being real. And, that's just like, it keeps pulling me in just how much she's like painting a picture of this. And you know, like I always go back to it because I feel like he just does such a good job. But like Matt Carney paints you
Yeah.
a picture, like he tells you like the color this person's wearing, or like there was 3 pennies in the ashtray of my dad's truck when we drove up the road. Like it's
Yeah.
just those little things of, yeah, I remember that. Not just a truck or whatever. So yeah.
Cool. Track number 7 is Amputate. Brandon, did you want to amputate the song from the album?
Man, how did you guess? This was the one. That sounds a lot harsher than I thought. I'm not trying to amputate this.
Sorry, I was trying to do what you usually do. Play on words.
Oh man. No, I didn't like this one as much.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it's because of how good the rest of the album's been. And like I said, it's following the song that I'm like, man, this keeps building up, and this song, like, man, this is the best one yet. And I feel like for whatever reason, Amputate just felt like it was like there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't there's nothing about the song that I can say, oh, it did this wrong. It just I think it just suffers because everything else has been so when everything is A plus, like a B plus is going to stand out as, oh, that's bad, when in reality I know a B plus is great, or whatever. So
yeah, I'm with you. I do think this is a good song, for sure, but to me it doesn't feel like up to the caliber of everything that we've heard, and I think everything that's to come after. And so this feels like more one of the like pop songs on the record, but it's probably my least favorite of the pop songs on the record. And so again, I think there's good things about it. Like the song eventually fills in really well, and it's full. The production's great, and like I said, it is catchy. But I think it's just not. It wasn't as up there for me either. As everything else on the record. So.
All right. Well, next we move to Vendetta. Did you have a vendetta against this album now, or?
No. So I think for me, I love so much on this record, but this moment when Vendetta hits in, just to lean a little bit into where I'm going for the rest of this record, I think this starts like a pretty awesome like track through the end of this thing. Like I love every song from here on out on this record. And I think Vendetta's probably the first song that I really connected with when it came out as a single. I just, man, I don't know what it was. Like the melody on the verse, I think is like impeccable. Like it is like modern pop music. Like I could hear that melody on a Taylor Swift record or Olivia Rodrigo, and it just fits. Like it's like a perfect verse melody. And I think the pre-chorus builds like so much good tension with like these rolling drums to get you to a chorus that's just great, really catchy. And then you have the verse change up from like the first time around to the second time around. There's a great down chorus that happens. I just feel like the ups and downs and the changes, like this could have just been a pretty straightforward, like pop song, but they do so much with it, in so many different ways that it just elevates it to like a different level. And, yeah, I kind of think this is a perfect song. So
we need like a bell thing you can hit.
I know.
You're like we've reached perfection. Yeah, I like the pickup coming from the former track.
Yeah.
Like I like that it picks back up, because part of me was like, oh, I hope there's not like a turn on where it's like the rest of the album. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of got lost.
Yeah.
But I feel like it gets back on track with this, and it's just another example of just melding great like polished music with, what were you saying, like unpolished, like thoughts or emotion or whatever earlier.
Yeah.
I think they does really well with this.
Yeah. All right, track 9, Best Weird Thing. Brandon, what do you think about Best Weird Thing?
I feel like I keep yawning every time it's my time to talk. So one of these times to be like, there's a dramatic pause. But I enjoyed this. I think it really showcases her like vocals in
Yeah.
it. I think it does that, and it's just like a really fun song like to listen to. And I think that's it's an important part when you're putting all these very heavy stuff on there, for it to be something that's like a little more like upbeat and all.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is another great pop song, but this one feels different than Vendetta or, whatever it may be earlier. And so I feel like this one leans like back to like the 80s a little bit, like an 80s pop, and there's so many good things about this one. Super classic sounding. I think the chorus is just on point. Like, it's really, really good. And yeah, again, for me, like, this one just hits and it works really well. And yeah, so if I had a bell to ring, I'd probably ring it. It's one of the best weird things I've ever heard.
That's really good. Next up, we have Evergreen. What do you think about Evergreen?
Yeah, I love Evergreen too. Obviously, this takes a different vibe than a lot of what we've heard so far on this record. This is a big drop down. But it's so cool. There's like I love the effect that's on the guitar. There's like to all the instrumentation that happens on this, at least early on in the song, everything's like muffled.
Yeah.
In a really cool way. And so the guitar, and then as the bass comes in, all these things are like really muffled. It's like I think this song showcases what happens on the rest of the album really well. This is a really simple song.
Yeah.
A really simple melody, but they're not willing just to let it be that. Like, they're going to take it and do something super creative with it.
Yeah.
And so I love the muffled creative production. There's also a guy singing background vocals on this, and I have no idea who it is or anything, but I think that's the first time this happens on this record. Or maybe you can just hear it, but I feel like it's usually her in the background. But I really like the juxtaposition when you really hear the vocals well, of having like a male voice singing behind her. I also like how for most of the song, the vocals like really dry with like no effects on it. And then as the song builds and it gets really noisy and kind of full towards the end, they like put a lot of effects on the vocals, and the vocals get really wet. And so I think it's a cool like transition that happens. But I am a sucker for noise on a song that like not annoying noise, but I'm a sucker for noise that like elevates the song to a different level. And there's like a production technique that Phil Spector got to be known for, and then Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys, called the wall of sound, that like we're just gonna blast this thing. Instead of having one bass guitar, we're gonna have like 3 bass guitars. Like, we're just gonna create a wall of sound coming at you. And that was a big production technique in the 60s that started, that's like continued on. But I almost feel like this record does like a wall of noise sometimes, but it's like a beautiful noise that just takes what's happening and elevates it in a great way. And so I love that towards the end of Evergreen.
I like that. Yeah, I think it feels so emotional. And like you said, muffle, I put down the music like simmers throughout.
Yeah.
Like, it's right there. And yeah, I think it's just it's so simple, and that makes it so good. Like, you don't have to fill in all this stuff. And I'll wait till we get to the final thoughts, but I think that's just been something throughout the album, is that it can be so elaborate over here that you have room to be simple right here,
Yeah.
you know, and all. So yeah.
That's cool. All right, track 11, Hot Air Balloon. Brandon, talk to me about this closing track.
I think it was a really cool, like fun ending. And I think if she's telling her like her story, I think it's a cool way to end on here. Because
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these albums, it ends with like I got revenge, or you know, like
Yeah.
I think this just ends with I'm happy, and it goes back to, you know, if I was sitting there giving advice to someone, it's why stew about like what your ex did to you, and I think that's with anything, like even, you know, like when I moved on from my former job, is the goal that I want to walk in like a year later and be like, look how successful I am, or
Yeah.
and it's like none of that stuff matters. It's like what matters is like I'm very happy, you know, with what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And it's like at the end of the day, it's like, well, you know, if it's money, does that mean that if the former job was like, we'll pay you $1 more, you know, do I go back to that just because now it's, oh, I want more money or I want a cool title? And I think it's the same way with, you know, like a breakup or whatever. It's like, why sit there and stew and just focus so much on this trauma or the stuff from the past where you have this beautiful like future in front of you?
Yeah.
And so I think it was, I really wish that there was more like reviews, because from what I had seen, we were one of the first people to review this.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of times I can lean on like a Jesus freak hideout because they'll say, oh, see, she's mentioned this, or
Yeah.
you know, like they'll give this backstory, because for some of this stuff it's like, oh, like that can make a song so much more special when you know that it's about this specific thing or the story behind it. But yeah, I think it was a really, really cool way to end the album.
Yeah. I picked up on the same thing that you were talking about, where a lot of this feels like she's processing through like a past hurtful relationship and just the pain that it's brought and dealing with the emotions that come with that. I love that the album is wrapped up in like a really simple love song. That I know she's married now.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a pretty new marriage, but this just feels like a love song to her husband. And that feels like simple and true and pure, like versus all the pain from the past.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's just like a really good like bow on the end of this. Not that everything works out perfectly, but when I feel like you have an album like this, it is nice to see that there's like hope on the other side of pain. Not that anything's ever going to be perfect, but this song, man, I rank every track as I'm going through, and I had a lot of 5s on this, but for this one I put 5+. So this is the first 5+ that I've ever given
Another
to a
bell
song.
ringing.
It is. I just love this song so much, and I wrote, how is the song so good? Yeah, it's got the slow build that happens. It's like a perfect like throwback classic pop song, and it's got these great builds that are happening throughout of it. And then you get to the end and you've got that wall of noise again happening underneath her vocals as she's like singing, and it's like swelling and growing, and it's so big and it works so well. And I think this is such a great closer to this album. So huge fan of that track. I think it's really good. All right. Final thoughts for Misfortunately by Gracie.
Yeah, I think that it's an album that going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I think especially after you were like, man, this is so good. This is, you know, I feel like you don't want to be the person that goes, oh, you thought this was good or whatever. But I think this was an incredible album. There's so much emotion behind it, and it like it made me like excited, but also a little stressed thinking about how in just a few months we're gonna be putting together like our top albums of the year.
Yeah.
Because I think that, an album comes out and you go, man, how do you top this? Then something else comes out and you go, oh man, this is incredible. And I feel like this is making it like difficult because
Yeah.
you can't at the end of the year say, all right, here's my 10 through 6 and here's a 5-way tie for number 1. So I just think this is really incredible. And I mean, I think with anything we review, we encourage people to check it out, but I think this is something that I encourage like to check out, and it goes back to people who think there's no good music out there. Like this was something that was released in like it was June, right? So I mean, this is
June.
super fresh and like it's amazing. For me, I'm gonna go with a 4.5 for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, again, I'm with you. Like, I think maybe this is my favorite record of the year so far. I'd have to think back, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I've enjoyed more up until this point. And so it just hits and works like for the vast majority of it in such a good way. And I'm honestly like, I'm honestly surprised that there is a record that has this many good songs on it coming out. I feel like when we get an album like this, we'll usually have like what I think probably like 3 songs of the caliber of this on it. And I just feel like all of these songs work. And some of them are like really, really good. But I love this album. I love the vibe of it. I love the honesty in it. And I love the hope in it at the end. And I have to land with you, Brandon. We're in the same place. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5.
I thought we're about to hit a 5.
So I don't know. The thing is, I feel like this is an album that every time I listen to it, I like it more. And so I could see this becoming a 5 for me eventually. But
We're gonna do our revisit on it one day. It's gonna be like, that's 7?
The fact that I gave a song a 5+ is like that's pretty significant. So yeah, this is such a great song. Such a great song. Album. Sorry. All right. Let's talk about our lyric of the week.
It's time for the lyric of the It's time.
All right, the lyric of the week this week comes from the song Sucker. I was a sucker for the vampire lyrics. She says in that song, I heard good guys stick around, but all the others always have such pretty teeth. My own affliction let the villain make a victim out of me. I'm too into it. Reading books on broody boys who up and leave, but they come right back with a vengeance in clandestinely. Yeah, I've seen your movie. I'm your biggest fan. Secretly so wounded, and you just can't seem to tan. I think that's so funny. So great album, great lyrics, great music, great production. You need to go check out Misfortunately by Gracie. Such a good album. I'm glad we got the chance. It's fun to cover something that's like super fresh.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I don't think anybody else has really talked about this a lot.
It's surprising too, because I think even just looking like her like listeners on Spotify, I was like, that's kind of like low for what I expected for how good this is. But I mean, I think we do a good job of that. Is that there's stuff out there that people aren't listening to, and then me and you talk about it, and the industry listens.
I don't think that we've gotten to that point yet. Maybe a few people listen, which would be great. And if we can encourage any listens to this one, then I think that's awesome. I'd love to support more and more of her stuff. So, and hey, thank you guys for being willing to sit and listen to this, because you've probably never listened to this album. But hopefully maybe it's an encouragement for you to go and check this one out. I really think that you'll enjoy it. And I know we've enjoyed getting the chance to talk through it and cover it. So find us on social media. We'd love to hear as you listen to it, like, what are your thoughts about it? Are you enjoying it? What are you feeling about it? What's some of your favorite tracks? So jump in, let us know. And hey, we're excited to hang out again with you next week.
Hey, are you listening?